One, two, 1, 2. This is his lordship. One, two, 1, 2. I was gonna, I think I was gonna produce one of my intros live. Since I got to do it in the studio anyway, I was like, why don't I make my studio available live and people can see the long, boring task or the super exciting task of producing the intro or seeing how much work goes into it. I won't be able to show you all my tricks and weapons of mass production, but you might get to see a little bit. It's almost like a free class almost. So I don't like using samples, but my clients be requesting samples from songs that they like and stuff like that. So I'm going to sample off of this Afrobeat song, the beginning of it. I'm going to take a couple of pieces. I don't know which piece that I'm happy with. I'm trying to listen to this other show before I went live, and I'm still listening to it in another ear. But I just can't believe the stuff that I'm hearing. This brother Hart is in the right place. His heart is in the right place, but the dialogue is just so confusing. It's so like, what I'm saying? Just weird. You say one thing, but then you say something else. And then based on what you're saying, you override what you said before. And this, the brother his heart is in the right place, but he's just confused. And then I was looking at the chat and I see something hella hypocritical. Like I see somebody say, I'm cool with Fundi, although I'm blocked. I'm beefing with pedos, not YouTubers. So now you say you cool with somebody who you try to ruin their business and put out lies and stuff. But now it says, I'm cool with Fundi, although I'm blocked. I'm beefing with pedos, not YouTubers. So now I'm the pedo mercenary warrior. And then it says, I don't have time to beef. I get money. Yeah, that's what a lot of strippers say. A lot of prostitutes. I've heard women say that before. Yeah, I get money. And they click their heels and do their little claw thing with their hands. But today's show isn't about that. Today's show is about producing Ali DeSage's intro, and I'm gonna start on it while I'm live. I probably won't finish while I'm live, and I'm not gonna just as you get the ideas and put things together. I don't think that I can do the whole thing and finish while I'm live. Now I could be slick and just do what the average do, just the bare minimum. Just loop this sample and then go over to the vision department and just, but I like to put a little bit more in there because, people are listening to these shows inside their vehicles. They have sound systems inside their vehicles. People have subwoofers in their vehicles. People have sound systems at home. I'm not going to assume that everybody's just using a phone or a tablet, or a little Bluetooth speaker. Some people got really good systems, so I want to make sure that no matter what you're listening to this on, it sounds good. So, but my microphone is so good, you probably can hear what I'm listening to in the in the headphones. I better turn it down because it's leaking into the microphone. But I'll let the trolls handle that. I'll let the trolls instigate what that's going to be about. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here. Let's switch to the full screen. This, like I said, when I teach OBS Studio and stuff, it's very similar to what you're going to see right now. All right, so we have Isotopes RX7. Feel free to price that if you want to look up the price on that. This is Isotopes RX7 Advanced. So feel free to price that if you want. Let's see here. I see somebody in the chat. Let me switch over. All right, switch over. Okay, Redbone the Goddess TV. What's happening? How you doing? I'm trying to produce Ali the Sage intro while I'm doing it live online. Something. I'm not gonna say that I'm about to do something those other channels can't do. Them other channels ain't doing this. They ain't producing no real work out there. They ain't using the software and have the mind state and the ability. Who did that sound like? Who did that sound like with his imaginary enemies? And it's weird how people diss imaginary people, and then when somebody says something, you crying or clout chasing or some shit. So let me see if the audio will play through here. Oh, wonderful. That sounds clear. Isn't it refreshing when you can listen to a black or African American or Aborigine channel holder, and you ain't got to sound like you still listening to AM radio? You know what I'm saying? And he ain't got to yell so you can hear what he's saying. Isn't that refreshing? You know what I'm saying? Because the louder you yell, the less I'm going to believe what you're saying. Because people think if they elevate their voice and have a lot of passion in their voice, that they must be telling the truth or they must know what they're talking about. But the truth doesn't take much energy to utter. The truth is the truth. There's no such thing as my truth, your truth. It's either the truth or it's not. That's the problem with the English language. It has too many words that mean absolutely nothing, and that's why things don't get done. If you want to know how people conquered other groups and other countries and stuff and people, it was through language. That's what started the Battle of Ottawa between the Italians and the Ethiopians. The language was different on the agreement. They had an agreement that was written in Italian and Ethiopian. Well, the Ethiopians, they do have a complicated alphabet. They have more than one. But they learned Italian and saw that the treaty was different that was written in Italian. And that's when all hell broke loose. So when you get out here and talk about we ain't the same and we being treated different and they don't shoot them but they shoot us, well, when the Ethiopians felt that way, all hell broke loose. It took the Italians 40 years to make a comeback. It took 40 years to make a comeback. Now, Ethiopians like Italian fashion. They like the shoes and clothes and slacks and their cars. The women like to dye their hair red and stuff like that. They like the fashion. They like to shop at Barney's and Neiman Marcus and Macy's. And you see how times change? They were so comfortable with their defeat that they earned, which really was incredible. When the Ethiopians defeated the Italians in the Battle of Ottawa, it was historical. Never had so many Italians been captured as a prisoner of war in history. But they didn't let that slide. They came back 40 years later with technology, more advanced technology. So anyway, let me make sure. Let me get back to what I was trying to do. Produce this. So yeah, that audio sounds clear. There's a loop. I'm trying to get a loop off of here, so I'm going to play around with this. I'm not going to talk much. You're in the studio with His Lordship. I'm just going to do what I do. I'm not going to talk much. I said what I said at the beginning. You know, I ain't trying to debate nobody or get up on anybody's panel and yell back and forth, because all you got to do is play back some of the shit that you say and listen to it again and ask yourself, do I really know what the hell I'm talking about? If you claim to be, see, I don't want to be specific, but because nobody else is specific, when they be talking about haters and they in the bushes and they be hating on me and they try to wait for me to say something crazy so they can clip that part out so they can talk about it because they clout chasing and all that, you know, I ain't gonna be specific either. But I put it like this. I see where LaTanya got her BS from. So I'm not going to blame LaTanya for some of the stuff she used to say. I know who she was listening to, and that's why she's a very confused individual behind that. So, but people like to listen to confusion. Whatever will give them an excuse and make them feel better about their position. If they can blame somebody else for their position right now today in life, you know, they all for it. Me, if you don't know where your heritage is and you don't know where your racial orientation is, if you can't like associate with a particular group or tribe anywhere in the world, then you was obviously born in America, raised in America. You've probably been here for several generations, no matter what the first generation of your family went through. So you are an American who happens to be whatever you want to call yourself. I prefer a person of hue, a human being with the HUEMAN. But if you prefer to call yourself an Aborigine or African American or a black or a Negro, I have no issues with that. I am not going to try to talk you out of that. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong and you're confused, because you know what? No matter which one you claim, it's still not going to pay your car note, your electric bill, your housing, your house note, your burial, or your taxes. So go ahead and pick one and roll with that. But I'm fine with person of hue. And you know, Uncle Black played a show earlier today. He had Sun Ra dropping some game, and let Sun Ra tell you what HUE is. But a person who actually been to Africa and been to Egypt. I recommend for people who don't know about their history and their past and the story of men on this planet, feel free to look up Francis Diop, look up Irvin Van Sertima, and look up Dr. Ben Yakaman, Dr. Ben Yosef Yakaman. Those are very strong, you know, and also look up Soul on Ice, a conversation with what's his name? I can't think of his name, but he had a documentary called "I Am Not Your Negro." But anyway, you know who I'm talking about. So this is for the playback. I'm just going to stop talking and start editing and formulating ideas and see what part of this track I can make a intro out of, because I think she ordered 2 30 seconds, one intro, one outro. So let me get busy. Yeah, I might get sniped by the what's the name, but let me make sure that this, even though my mic is muted, let me make sure, let me mute my mic and make sure you can still hear the audio. Plus, I don't like talking without a compressor gate on my vocals, because y'all don't need to hear me breathing and typing on the typewriter keys and sipping on my wine and all that. That's very unprofessional. You don't need to hear me eating or anything like that. So let me add a compressor, a noise gate. That's what it's called. Let me make sure you can still hear me. Check. Check 2. Now, do you see the difference? Doesn't that sound way more professional? So, before you want to organize people and encourage them to revolutionize, the more professional your message is, the better it will come across. You ain't got to yell. You ain't got to put down another race. You know what I'm saying? And, it ain't hard to be professional. This software is free. The plugin that I use was free. Now I'm gonna use another plugin that do cost money. Native Instrument Guitar Rig for my vocal processor to make my voice sound even more professional. Now, testing 1, 2. We in business now. So let me play this track and see if we can still hear it when my mic is muted. I didn't hear anything. Let me let this play one more time. Yeah, I didn't hear the track play. That's weird. Let me check my audio settings. Desktop. I'm going to set it to default and see what happens. Wow, nothing. Well, that's not fun. If you guys can't hear it, what's the purpose? You know what I'm saying? Let me try one more trick. Nope, that don't work. That didn't work either. I'm trying to do it all on the same computer. Good thing nobody's here. I'm not really embarrassing myself too much. All right. Shout out to Redbone. Let me try this. Oh, I know what I could do. I can go to the software that's playing the music that you're looking at and change the driver. See, this is what I'm telling you. You only get to see the fun part. The actual production part is boring. I usually turn on AM radio and have it in the background. And yeah, this part is very technical and boring. This is why you pay other people to do this stuff. So now I'm looking for a different driver. Let's try this driver and see what happens. Let's see here. Uh-oh. What happened? Uh-oh. We back in business. We back in business, boys. We back in business. Now I can mute my mic. Now I can mute my mic. Okay, here we go. I had to cut my vocal processor off because it's drawing too much on the computer CPU. Yeah. Yeah, now studio but we're in session. Okay, now I need to hear it in the studio. I'm gonna go to advanced properties. Monitor and output. That way I could crank it up in the studio. I use a Native Instrument Complete 6 audio interface. I highly recommend it. It's a beast. It can handle being bounced around in luggage and cases. You know, it can handle. It's pretty strong. Built really solid. And that audio interface work with the DJ software and other stuff as well. You know, even if you play an instrument like guitar, bass, whatever. So anyway, here we go. What we're doing right now is just trying to get a good cut from this. because I can always time stretch it in another software. And we just gonna get some parts that we could flip. So this sounds like Yeah, His Lordship in the building. I'm still here. I did a lot of talking with the mute button though. Yeah. But shout out to Ray and Street Knowledge and Redbone and anybody else that's peeping game. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do this again. Invert selection. Then I'm gonna cut. Let's play. Hit the play button. Uh-oh. There's a that loop is not that perfect. There's some kind of little click at the edge, and we're gonna get to the bottom of that right there. We can see it right there. There's the issue. And there's another issue right there at this end too. All right. Let me handle that. Invert selection. Let me hit cut. Now let me press play. All right, that's our second loop, our second sample. I'm going to normalize that. All right, here's normalize. Now, this is before normalization. Now, this is after. Yep. So, that's as much as we're going to do with this software. I got to get another loop, but I'm just saying the only processes I'm doing is normalizing it and saving it as a higher resolution file, because when I got it, it was a compressed file. Now, some people believe that once you go to a lower resolution, you can't go to a higher resolution from a low resolution. Well, you can't. Technically, you can't. But what you can do is oversample. So that means that I know I got a bad copy of this audio, but it sounds damn good. So I don't want to risk losing any more bit rate or audio quality to the sound. So what I'm going to use is the highest digital recording number to recapture this sound, so I can only lose the most tedious, if it ain't a few fractions of a bit rate of loss to this audio. So that's why I'm oversampling it at a 32-bit rate, because at least if it sounds good like this, I don't want it to sound worse. So we can't make a compressed file into a full 16-bit, 24-bit, whatever, but we can recapture it as is to not lose any more. So anyway, that's what that's about. So 32-bit, and yeah, let me blank my screen one more time. Yeah, I don't know why that's not the default to go to that folder, but it is what it is. I don't see it. Where is it? I just recorded another song last night and sent it off to London to the dude I'm working with out there. Well, I didn't send it. We have a shared folder. That's another thing. As an artist or whatever, you have a shared folder that anybody can access in the world. You just give them access to it. So when you drop your vocals into that folder or whatever, you ain't got to send them an email and say they all they got to do is check the folder and the stuff is there. It's just like being in the other room except they're in another country. So music jingle, we're gonna save it there. Who's in the building? We'll see in the building. I know you might like today's show because I know you have a strong interest in this stuff. So, yeah, we'll see in the building. I know he gonna watch for sure. And I'm glad you're here. So, we're gonna say this as loop 2. Alley Music loop 2. Hit save. And let me turn the screen back on. Now, I'm going to hit Control Z to erase all those cuts I did so I could get the full audio back. Now I'm going to look for one more part to. Oh, okay. Let me invert this one more time. Now this is something cool here. That's right. Dropbox share file. So now we already know how far you should stretch these bars to capture a perfect loop, because we know that the song is the same tempo through the whole song, and everything is the same distance. So no matter where I move this orange thing, I'm still going to capture a perfect loop because it's already measured out by BPMs. See what I'm saying? So watch this. All right, so that's too long. I don't know. For some reason, I might be able to do something with that part. That'll give people an idea, where the song came from. Everything don't have to loop. It could just be a one shot. Yeah. Let me see. Let me try one more thing though. Yeah, I think that'll be a good one shot right there. Yeah, because that's right before the drop. So we're going to invert selection. We're going to trim the fat off of this loop and cut. Now, I do have the loop switch on, so I'm going to cut the loop switch off so I could play it like a one shot to give an idea how it would sound as a one shot, before the thing kick in, you know what I'm saying? The whole little fiasco. So here we go. Boom. Perfect. Now, we're going to normalize this. See how fun this is? So you know what it sounded like before it, right? I'm going to render it. I just normalized it. Now watch the difference. Yeah, see? It's not just louder, but the dynamics are more enhanced, the dynamics, even if you was a DJ before you would use your songs in the mix, you would want to normalize all your tracks and put markers in it, stuff like that, loop markers and drop markers and stuff like that. So anyway, I think we got all the samples that we need. Let's see. I guess let me change the screen again because I got to do some things that's off camera a little bit, or off screen basically. Let's do this. Little watermark.
United Smart Broadcasters Collective.
All right, so now I'm going to process that audio file, and it's going to be a 32-bit floating wave, and we're going to find the folder first where that where I save the other songs, loops. That's going to be called Alley Loop 3 or something like that. Music jingles, Alley Music Loop 1, 2, and this will be Alley Music Loop 3. And you know, it's always good to collect as much raw data as possible, just like if you shoot a movie. It's always good to collect as much B-reel as possible. You know what I'm saying? So now we save that. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to pull up Ableton Live yet. Maybe I could do a part 2 with Ableton Live. But I'll give you an idea of how the visual side gets started. You know what I'm saying? How you pull in the elements. But the thing is, I don't have the music ready yet. So what I'm going to do is just play a different track while I'm trying to get the visual side together. So I'm going to put the visual software up on the big screen. And I'm going to go back and show you my screen again. All right. This is Resolume, you know, and I'm not going to say that twice. But if you willing to fork out the money for this, you know, be my guest. I know my spouse is sometimes worried about me giving the game away, but I'd be like, man, they ain't gonna fork out the money for this. They'll fork out the money for 808. An Akai MPC 4000 or a Renaissance Akai or Machine Studio or Fruity Loops or whatever. But this is what they use when you go see Nas in concert or you see somebody in concert and they got the visuals in the background. They're using something like this. You feel me? So let me find. Because I don't want to get hit for that track, so I ain't going to keep using that loop until I produce it. But let me find another track to play in the background while I start working on the visuals, just temporarily. Because I just need everything to work. You know, the images are triggered by the frequencies, the bass, the highs, and the lows, and the different things. So when I put in the right track, let this rock for a second before I even start to do the visuals. But
we have died already. Our lives, progressions of death, whom shall we fear? We, the strange fruit of Billy's moans, watched ourselves swing from trees. Watched them carve away the bone of our man. Sat passively in classes while they faggotized our minds. Hey, man.
Check. All right. Eddie P. Stan. Reppin' that Stan Dolo team. The whole thing. Shit, anything else is uncivilized. Move straight forward, keep your head on swivel, eyes on the prize. Race is a lie, reparations is a bigger lie. Ask can I live? The reply, die, nigga die. I pursue a caution, socialize, you can die. Pale facing any space, same vibe, different high. Awake, aware of more than what's on each alive. Can instantly tell who's reppin' hell to survive. Roll, stand, dolo, rally with my tribe. Stand up women and guys who like to keep it live. Strive to get ahead instead of just getting body burping like they not suckers, yet they still slip and slide. Slits for eyes, forked tongue, venomous fangs, not too close, then arms length, position wide. Deal with the distance, resilient to resistance. To make it to the paper, couple mil is sufficient. Real lives what we visualize, the will with persistence. To build something ill, something real, efficient, with some real significance. Special like Ed that says, even with sad sentiments, slicker than bad measurements. To capture more attention and big bags of Ritalin. diligent and vigilant back when I was scribbling on pads and filling them.
The revolution will not be televised, but it will be digitized.
This sounds.
The tags taking drags off my nuisance. Now it's no paper, baby's green juice. Vitamin, clean use, filling them. Casualties displayed, fashionably laid, casually killing them. Stand flag flapping, we capital hilling them. Making shit great again, they've been raping and pillaging. Broadcast behavior and creating the militant. Got it carried away again, debating is ignorant. We can't catch the fate again, separating the women and children ages. Cause aliens slipping in. So-called patriots parading in citizen, sitting in similar both situations resembling. Singing fast, manipulating your temperaments. I'm thinking class, educating your semblance, so we up the task. As dimensions begin again, pull up your pants. Time to lace up your timberlands, we must advance. In the faces of remember, we'll never forget. All the places you've been in the spaces you get it in. Basements and cages and faces you spit it in. Mean mugs cleaned up, made up, feminine. Universal individuals don't cater to simpletons. Serving them, facing them like we playing at Wimbledon. Straight sets, facing them while the haters were kindling. Till they shit and trembling. Moon faking, swindling. News breaking, dwindling. Now it's absolutely nothing to lose. Lacing the Kremlin. It's not against the law that you lose. Cases pending. The halls of justice. Busting. Better brace for the eating and the chase for the Benjamin. The only color green to be clutching them duckets. Yes, to a nigga, but the devil got a level up. Bring the ruckus, suckers.
Yeah, that was with a brother in Atlanta. There's two versions of that. There's the head nod version, you know, same samples, you know, just nod your head, you know, real funky. And then you have this Black Star Trek version. You see what I'm saying? So we have the jungle drum and bass version, and then we got the more you know, the hip hop version also. So I want to make sure that this audio is, this text is in the center. Oh, it says left. I want to make sure it's center. I don't like my font list for this. I'm using another computer, a newer computer than what I usually use. So, so I still haven't got this computer fully acclimated to know what I'm doing. I don't know what that style L means, but we're not using that font. Not using that one either. Let's see here. Oh, my other computer, I had a whole bunch of custom fonts. But this one, you know, it take a lot to when you change to another computer and get it similar to your old computer, it's a lot of work. It takes a couple of months. I don't want nothing too gothic or too edgy. You know, it is for a lady's website. So, channel. I'm kind of feeling that. I'm feeling that right there. Now we're gonna click animate. And do I want to do characters, lines? I think I want to do lines. And I think I want to animate the scale. See, it says composition FFT. That means I'm going to use the internal sound from that wave file to trigger the audio, and then I'm going to go over here and see LMH. That means low, mid range, or high. So if I want this to react to the mid range, I could do it there. If I want it to react to the highs, I could do it there, or the lows. So I'm going to do the lows, because I'm into the lows. And this is how I began working on the visuals. So.
Now it's absolutely nothing to lose. Blessing the Kremlin. It's not against the law that you lose. Ace is pending. The halls of justice. Better brace for the eating and the chase for the Benjamin is the only color green to be clutching them ducats. Yes, to a nigga. But the devil gotta level up. Bring the ruckus, suckers.
It should loop back around.
We have died already. Our lives, progressions of death, whom shall we fear? We, the strange fruit of Billy's moans, watched ourselves swing from trees. Watched them carve away the bone of our man. Sat passively in classes while they faggotized.
So we're going to increase the gain.
Hey, man.
We're going to increase the volume so it can be more dynamic. Oh shit. Here we go. Yeah, this is the fun part.
Anything else is uncivilized. Move straight forward, keep your head on swivel, eyes on the prize. Race is a lie. Reparations is a bigger lie. Ask can I live? The reply, die, nigga, die. I pursue with caution, socialize, you can die. Pale facing any space, same vibes, different highs. Awake, aware of more than what's on each alive. Can instantly tell who's repping hell to survive. Roll, stand, dolo, rally with my tribe. Stand up women and guys who like to keep it live. Strive to get ahead instead of just getting body burping like they not servers that they.
See, this is designed for live performance. That's why, that's why it's like this. The music software I use is designed for live performance. So when you record, you're actually recording your live performance as you perform it. And the same for the visuals. The visuals is a live performance. Of course, I won't be using the same track, but when I do produce the track and put it at the top, like I have this other one at the top left corner. When I finish the alley track using the Afrobeat track, the samples, I will replace this audio with the audio that I'm going to use for her intro, and I have to produce her outro as well. But I'm not going to use any samples. It's going to be a full original track for the outro. So anyway, I want to look at some visuals too. So I got to go over to my files, and I don't know what to use. I'm dying to use. See, some of this video footage I shoot myself, and some of the video footage comes from online. But really, for 4K video and stuff, you have to pay like $150, $200. Some video clips just for 30 seconds, 60 seconds cost a lot of money. So when I'm producing this stuff, if I'm not using my own cinematography, I have to really find high quality clips for practically nothing. You know what I'm saying? But let me rock this again.
Already. Our lives, progressions of death, whom shall we fear? We, the strange fruit of Billy's moans, watched ourselves swing from trees. Watched them carve away the bone of our man. Sat passively in classes while they faggotized our minds. Hey, man.
Check. handstand, repping that stand or routine. The whole thing. Anything else is uncivilized. Move straight forward, keep your head on swivel, eyes on the prize. Race is a lie, reparations is a bigger lie. Ask can I live? The reply, die, nigga, die. I pursue
Well,
function, social
that's
life.
another issue studios have: crashing. So the software just crashed, and I didn't follow the golden rule. Always save every few seconds. You know, whenever you do something remarkable or amazing, save it. As soon as you think you reached that's what I did with when I was recording the song last night. I had a good verse, saved it. Good chorus and hook, saved it. Kept save it, even though it saves automatically. But this software doesn't, and so now you saw it go gray. So this software just crashed. It's going to be a process to bring it back up and all this stuff. So I'm going to have to do a part 2. But you get an idea. This gives you an idea how His Lordship does his intros. One of the processes I use is Isotopes RX7 for audio editing, and then I'm using Resolume, and then I'm going to produce the track using Ableton Live and any other resources I have, like Native Instrument Machina, Reason Racks. Reason just came out with Reason Racks. You got to have VST3. Cubase have VST3, but Ableton is not known to have VST3 unless you have a paid version and it's fully up to date. But thanks to the pirates and everything like that, you know what I'm saying, it's all good. So what I'm going to do is check out here, come back with a part 2, and you can see how far along the project has come about. So because of this crash, I'm going to have to check out. So peace and hair grease.
Lock it down, cause we doing it live. Plus we got more in deck than the Enterprise. And if I lay right there in between your thighs, you would see another episode of Deep Space Nine. Your screen, get that miss on the wireless. Never had to buy it, please. Satellite system, CRV. We can fold up, remove the 2 back seats. Just pass me your Dixie cup. I got the chemistry to fix it up. Come on, slide with us on tour or the studio.